everybody, welcome to today's video, and we're going to start ripping the rx7 engine out. If you guys are new to the channel or don't remember, this is the main focus of the channel. It's a Sr20vet from a X-Trail in Japan. It has a GT2871R, Haltech ECU, 1000cc injectors. It's making 350-ish to the wheels, 400 to the crank. But yeah, we have a little oil pressure issue. Our pickup tube's leaking, so we've got to pull the whole engine out. And I had a DET in here originally, and I ultimately just used that pickup tube that I made for it. A little bigger than OEM, but it's definitely not as big as a VET pickup tube. We were having fine oil pressure, but now it's leaking from the gasket. So when I take it out, we're just going to make a new one, and we're going to upgrade to 7/8 ID instead of 5/8, which is on there now. So yeah, nothing's important pulling the engine, like nothing cool to see. So we're just gonna get it out. So here we go. That was easy, just like that. I really wish it worked like that. But here it is. It's all pulled out. It's pretty easy. You just unbolt this, which is an excessive 350Z mount shifter. And yeah, turbo stays. Intake manifold stays, both motor mounts stay. We do have an oil leak. It's somewhere here. I don't know where in the weld, so I'm gonna really just go over that whole pass all the way across. But you can see it's not the top of the oil pan, except there's a couple of grime here, so we may have a leak right here or probably here. So we'll have to try to adjust that as well. But the top flange isn't leaking. But this is also 2 years of running. It doesn't matter, we're taking off the top anyway, but you just kind of see it's probably a leak right there. So I'm gonna clean it or try to get it vapor honed, but we just need to finish pulling this and put it on the engine stand now. Okay, I got it out of the engine bay. This whole thing takes like 3 hours max of work. I've been slow with the uploads just because I need to be saving money for other shit, like, you know, adult things instead of race car things. So that's why content's been slow this year. But at the very least, we're going to get this thing back to where I can just take it out and drive it whenever I want, so we can at least have some toge content. Because that's my favorite part. I don't know about y'all, but that's definitely my favorite part of the whole experience. But she's all the way out. It's kind of interesting. I put the cherry picker here to pick it up, and then halfway through I slide it across the car like this, and then pull it out normal ways. And then we're so close to the wall, I actually had to push the cherry picker back out that way to even get it out. But honestly, this is a really good working height for me to clean this, and I'd prefer not to take the trans off, then take the pressure plate and clutch and flywheel off, just to bolt it on the engine stand, then to rotate it over and have all the oil go up to the head and all that shit. So I honestly think we're just gonna leave it like this to pull this pan off. I've got as much oil out as I can, but before we do that, what I want to do is mark these holes, because the adapter kit only has half of the bell housing, and I've tried, like, this is my little work to get one bolt further down, but as you can see, we do have separation. So that is putting load on the bearings, and it just shouldn't be like that. So what I want to do is figure out where I can drill a hole on this transmission or on this pan so I can at least get one more bolt on here. So we're going to do that as well. And see, it doesn't look oily in there at all. So the rear main's fine. It's just this leak is caused from the drain, and then whatever is leaking up here slightly. So yeah, let's of course it looks like I'm rubbing a little bit too, so we're gonna have to address that. But I mean, this is after a full year of Toge. We had no issues with anything, you know, except for little shit like the intercooler blowing up. But what else? When I took this off, this is something really weird. I don't know if the camera, yeah, we'll get that angle. Look how much of that is gone. It's only down at the bottom, and I think it's sand from the road. That's just a chunk of black. I thought that was a hole at first. Oh yeah, see, there's a big rock stuck in it. So yeah, it literally got sandblasted from the road and some of the Toges. I think the last one, I'm not for sure if I got it on film, but I did get some in the springtime, late winter, where there was a lot of sand on the road. And that part sits below this, so it's, see if you can see, yeah. So the bottom of the bumper, and that's where most of the radiator flow goes and kind of just swirls instead of going further up into the V-mount. But enough talking. We're next step is to get the oil pan off. So let's do it. She's off. A little dirty. Got a little sludge going on. I think that's due to the E85. This is a whole year. Well, that definitely looks bearing. But this is the pan that had the other bearing go out on it. So some of that sludge could have been stuck in there, or because this is the first time looking at it since I pulled it. So we're all in the same boat. But what I'm worried about is this is leaking up here. And that's why I'm having, my hands are all oily now. I don't have low oil. It's hard to say. In the high RPMs, I'm not making 80 plus oil pressure that I did on the dyno. I'm seeing high 60s. So I'm losing oil pressure, but everywhere else down low, cruising on the highway, it's the same. Yeah, maybe a couple PSI lower than what it was. I don't think it's the pump going out. But what I think, I didn't use the metal gasket. Actually, I did. I feel a metal gasket there. But this flange is not meant to go on this pump. So you can see I had to cut it and fit it. And this is smaller diameter than what we should be using. So I'm hoping that it's just leaking through here, through the bolt holes, and that's it. But, you know, the oil pump looks good. The bolts aren't backing out or anything like this. You can see, even after, you know, the 10,000 miles I've put on this, this motor is fucking clean. I think it was brand new when I got it. But we've got a lot of cleanup here now. But everything looks pretty good. I don't see any bearing material anywhere on the pickup tube. So that little bit that we see in here, I'm going to go with it was the first VET motor I bought. Because there's no way I could clean out all those crevices. Because, Yeah, that's a lot. Let's hope so. Otherwise, that 20 oil pressure just killed our bearing. But, I mean, what are you going to do? Let's take this pickup tube off, see what we're dealing with. Just took it off, and you can see the path right there where it was just running out. You can see dry. Even up on this top part, it's pretty dry. Like you can see there was a seal there. And then even down at the bottom, there was a seal, but right here, there's just heavy oil where you can see it's been there. And I bet you money it was crossing. Let me set it down so you can see. You guys may not be able to visualize what I'm seeing here, but you can see right here it was sealed all the way across, and even there it's just running over now, where this is a lot heavier oil deposit, and you can see a line forming where it's a little lower than the rest of the area because that's where it's been passing. So I think it's pretty safe to say that's where we were leaking. But as you can see, that's how much smaller this pickup tube is versus what it's supposed to be on there. This is a little bigger pipe, so I think that's how we got away with it. But if you can look up here, I don't see any bearing material on this. And then, granted, this is the pickup tube that had the blown engine as well. I tried to clean it, but you can see I didn't clean it that well. That's why we're going to get rid of this whole thing. This is what the video is actually about. And we've got 2 foot. So I thought 1 foot was just barely going to do it, so I bought another one just in case. But this is 7/8, which is the same thickness that we're supposed to have. And then I saved this is the block that blew up, which the pan was originally on, and that pickup tube. And you can see how dirty this block was compared to the block we're using now. See all that deposit? So this is a way older one, and it was blown. It didn't even make it 30 miles. But we have this, which is pretty clean, except for whatever that is. So we'll get that out. It looks like this is the pickup tube from this motor because of those deposits. So I may dig around. I have, if any of you guys are SR boys, hit me up, because I got SR stuff. That's a DET head. That's a rear sump pan for a DET, which is originally what that pickup tube was on. I got cam angle sensors for front wheel drives. I got rear wheel drive cam angle sensors, 350Z shifters, some triple or 6-puck clutch, valve covers, cams, rocker arm stoppers. I got a bunch of shit. Injectors for the VET, which is like 440s, I think. But yeah, or scrap, you know. I got scrap too. But we'll look in this and see if the newer pickup tube, the one that came off of the fresh engine, is in there, and we'll use that. But either way, we'll be using a new flange, so it's not cut, and you can see the difference right there. So I was seeing good oil pressure. I think it's, you know, it was like 5 under. People say it's supposed to be like 90. On the dyno, I was hitting 87, 88 with it up on ramps. So it was actually more away from the pickup tube because we're rear sump. I don't think that matters, but it was good oil pressure. But with this new pickup tube, it should be even higher. We'll just see. Hopefully that gasket's leaking and we're fine and it's not the oil pump. But that's been a lot of talking. It's Sunday. I'm probably going to wrap it up. Kind of made it a weekend project to pull this out so we can make a little video. It's probably going to be shorter than the rest of my videos, but the next step is, I think we'll make a jig for this, because this fits perfect exactly where I want it. And then we'll just cut this flange off, bolt it where the jig is, and then we'll make our pieces out of this. Use the bandsaw, use my TIG welder. So you guys stay tuned for that. But thanks for watching. Leave a comment if you guys got anything to say, and like or subscribe if you guys liked this video.